Welcome to the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. This is your podcast for all things hockey. On this podcast, we talk about past history to the modern day and what you can do to grow the sport. I am your host, Adam Rothstein. All right, let's get to the show. What am I supposed to say about that? Like, can I be honest with you? I do not know what is going on right now with the Panthers. This is the most disappointing team I've ever seen in my entire life. And yes, the Sasha Barkov goal was great, and we'll talk about the offsides and everything of that sort. But it's like, geez, I'm sorry. This is it was never supposed to go this way, and that 16th win is always the hardest. And maybe Larry's House of Hockey, the YouTube guy, is right. And Oilers are gonna win. And if you want to call it, just give me the number and I might pick up the phone. I swear to God, I swear. Um I I it just, I'm trying to hold back so much right now. I like I mean, it's just this team is just, I mean, losing 4 games in a row for anything, I mean, during the regular season, okay, you lose 4 games in a row. The Sharks went through a lot of those. They went through some very long losing streaks, but I think when you go up 3-0 in a series and then you lose the next 3 and you have an 8-1 game, you have a 5-3 game, which, I thought the Panthers were going to do better. And okay, maybe they'll win game 6, and then game 6 doesn't come. And now we will go back to Sunrise, and it'll be nighttime. Sun's not rising in Sunrise. I don't believe it will for game 7. And yes, I know that I should be rooting for the Panthers. They're my team. I adopted this team. I live 90 minutes away from Sunrise. I should be rooting for them, but I'm not. And right now they play like their AHL affiliate, the Charlotte Checkers. And if you're also wondering, I'm sporting a San Francisco Giants shirt right now. You know what? I'm going to start off. Leon Draisaitl gave a great pass to Warren Foegele in the first period, and there was no way Bob was stopping that. I'm sorry, he was not stopping this, and it's a shame too. He wasn't stopping this, and I just want to show you, and I'm on camera right now, just showing you like I can't describe it. My face can barely describe this right now, of this disappointing. It is so disappointing right now. And I think the miracle of this game was that how the Panthers only got out of the first period just being down 1 goal. I'm dead serious. I'm not kidding. The second period opens. Barely a minute in, Adam Henrique gets his 4th of the year. He gets the assist from Janmark and Elkom. Then the interesting thing is where Sasha Barkov gets the goal. There he gets supposedly gets a goal, but he does not get it. He doesn't get it's waved off, and and when you're 2 strides in and the puck is still on the blue line, even by a centimeter, it's going to be offsides. It's going to be offsides every time. And that was the biggest disappointment. And they went to the video review room, and it's like, I knew immediately that it was going to be no goal, offsides sort of thing. Um, through that, and Sasha Barkov, he's played well this entire time. He's played, but it's not going to cover it. I mean, Reinhart was. Here's the thing: Reinhart took 1.5 strides, I believe. He took 1.5 strides in. And the thing is, you can't be, 2 strides in. You can't be 2 strides in. You can't be, you can't have both feet in. You can have like part of your foot in, but it has to clear the it has to clear the blue line completely. And it didn't. And I think if Reinhardt just keeps his foot, if he stops on the blue line, we have a totally different hockey game at that point. And momentum is shifted, and the Panthers gain confidence, but didn't happen. Hyman would go to the backhand from Mr. Fudge Nugent Hopkins. Um, and there was no way Bob was stopping that. There was just no way. But yeah. Third period opens. This time Sasha Barkov does get a goal. He's assisted by Verhage and Kulikov on a wrist shot. So, he at least he gets one goal, but it's not worth it at that. So they pull Bob at about 5 minutes in, or excuse me, about with 3 minutes left, and McLeod gets his 4th goal of the year. It's an empty net goal. Then not too long later, Darnell Nurse gets his 2nd goal of the playoffs, and Stuart Skinner gets an assist. And let me tell you something. Skinner was steaming hams. I mean, Superintendent Chalmers would be impressed, would remember that unforgettable luncheon. I have to tell this joke right now because that's the only way I'm going to get through this. Shots were dead even, but it means absolutely nothing if the shots are not quality shots. Oilers would win the face-offs there. No one got a power play goal in this, but even the Oilers took 18 minutes, 2 minutes more in penalties than the Panthers. And the Panthers were hitting. They were doing stuff, but they weren't blocking shots. They weren't blocking shots either. But the Oilers took it away so many times with this, and they just were not going up at all. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like this at all. And the fact that one of the and the fact that one of the power plays where McDavid was in the box and they didn't capitalize on that, I think, that's why you deserve to lose. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. You had McDavid in the box. You're on the power play, McDavid's in the box, and you don't capitalize on that, and you're 1 win away from hoisting the Stanley Cup. Are you serious? And you don't capitalize on that power play. I'm sorry. You need to capitalize on that power play. And if you're not going to, you don't deserve to win. I'm sorry. You don't deserve to win that. The Buffalo Bills were not as disappointing as this team is right now. If the Panthers somehow win Game 7, Connor McDavid's winning the Conn Smythe regardless. Sasha Barkov doesn't deserve the Conn Smythe. Yes, he stepped up in tonight's game at least a little bit, but it's not enough. You're still, a lot of. It's not enough. You're not winning the games. You're not proving yourself enough. Sergei Bobrovsky, you know, he had one shot to win a Conn Smythe tonight. He actually could have done it, and I would have defended, um, you know, the decision being made that he wins the Conn Smythe had he, had a perfect game and blocked everything. He didn't. He did not. I'm sorry. It was not happening tonight. I think after that first goal, I was calling it. He was not winning the Conn Smythe, and the Panthers could have won that, and I would have still picked McDavid after that. He does not deserve to win the Conn Smythe. And I genuinely thought he was going to win the Conn Smythe, especially after the first game and the second and the third. And I thought Sergey's in great position to win the Conn Smythe here, and he blew it. He blew it. I'm sorry. I don't care if Henrique can get it under your arm or whatever, and just put it perfectly there. I I don't care anymore. I just really don't. You don't deserve the Conn Smythe, Bob. I'm sorry. Now, does Matthew Tkachuk deserve to hoist the Stanley Cup? I honestly do. I honestly think all the Panthers do. That I genuinely believe that. And I can't think of anything else at this point. We love I like this team. I like the Panthers. I like what they've done for South Florida and in bringing more people into the hockey community and more people wanting to try. I genuinely believe it. But if they lose game 7, I'm telling you that it'll do more damage to this sport in South Florida. Yes, the Lightning won 2 Stanley Cups already in the 20s. They won 2 Stanley Cups, and yes, you could say that, we were in the weird Corona era, but they count for something. They played their hearts out, and it's the hardest thing to do in sports, and every team came out swinging against them, especially Dallas. And the Lightning certainly proved themselves. And the Florida teams have been dominating for the last, 5 seasons, essentially. Like East, every Stanley Cup finalist in the 20s has been a Florida team. It's been the Lightning 3 times in a row. It's been the Florida Panthers from last year and this year. And I thought they would do this. This has got to be like the Panthers have to be living through an episode of Black Mirror or something right now because this is not them. They like if you're a Sharks fan right now, if you're a San Jose Sharks fan, I think you're relieved that you're not in this position. Everyone else is relieved that they're not in this position, who is not named the Florida Panthers, because this hasn't the only thing close to this that has happened like this in the past 20 years has been the Red Sox and the Yankees in 2004. The Red Sox went up and won 4 games in a row in all the big 4 sports. And think about how many series we've had, all the wild card games and the game 163s and and the semifinals and the first rounds and everything in the NBA finals in every single series that we've had. Okay, there's got to be I think that might be 200 series at that point because and then okay, you have because of all the Eastern and Western conferences and so many division series and everything in between and all the teams that have played in the expansion of some playoffs in others and all the NFL games and everything and all these series and we have this and throw in the 28-3 Atlanta Falcons of the 2017 Super Bowl um of Super Bowl. I think it was 51. Don't quote me on that, but even throw that in, you know, that's just one game, but even still, that was disappointing. But but not as disappointing as this. You know, Panthers, you know, Larry over at Larry's House of Hockey, I'm telling you, he is right. I surrender like I don't wish this on my worst enemy. I don't wish this on the Flyers fans. I don't wish this on the Red Wings fans. I don't even wish this on the Bruins fans. And they had some heartbreak in 2011. They had that heartbreak. No, I'm sorry. In you know, they had heartbreak in 2019. Excuse me. The Canucks had the heartbreak in 2011. But through all the heartbreaks, through everything in between, you know, everything, all the series, everything that you came to see, everything of the sort, all these series, every round, everything that came out, like there's got to be close to 100 series at that point, and you didn't have one that had this situation, not counting the Yankees and the Red Sox. The Stanley Cup Finals in '04. Okay, we've had twice, but think about how long this has been, through all the NBA Finals, the Pistons, you name the team, you name the series, and no teams, and I don't think and when it's come to the championship round of everything, there is nothing more disappointing right now on the table than this, of the Panthers losing. I've and they gave up 2 empty net goals too. I mean, you had so much time to figure something out, and they just did they just uh, they rolled over like a dog in this. I swear, they weren't acting like Panthers. They were acting like dogs. They rolled over at this point. I mean, to the people of Sunrise, I apologize right now. I don't think you're winning. I don't think the Panthers are winning the Stanley Cup. Maybe I'm proven wrong, but they are not. The people of Sunrise deserve better. They I don't know what you want to give them at this point to the people of Sunrise. You got to give them something else. I think you might want to refund their money at this point. That's a joke, by the way. But I think, but and that is hockey. This is the hardest sport, to win. This is the Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win in all of sports. I've said this repeatedly on this podcast. But now, right now, you can hear it in my voice how difficult it is to get through this right now. But I mean, Paul Maurice, went off on a call that I knew was offsides. And I know, as the coach, you have to rile your team up and you have to yell profanity, just to get them riled up. But they were just, after that, I don't think they thought they had a prayer. They were not trying, in my eyes. They were not turning up the intensity on this. I couldn't see it. And I watched some baseball. I watched the Dodgers and the Angels because I thought that was more entertaining than what I saw. I'm not an Oilers fan. But right now, we expected this, that at some point, they would fly north, the Stanley Cup would fly north of the border, but not like this. And I thought that McDavid would have to go south of the border to go win a Stanley Cup. I'm being proven wrong. And I've been proven wrong before on this. I really thought that he would have to go to Boston, or he'd actually have to wind up in Florida to win the Stanley Cup. Well, he has to wind up in Florida to win the Stanley Cup now. Regardless, he's going to be in Sunrise on Monday night, and I have work Tuesday and everything, and it's like I'm not watching it overtime in this. If this goes to overtime, this team has disappointed me so much. It is 11:23 right now, June 21st. This is coming out on the 22nd. I don't care how long this goes at this point, but no franchise deserves to go through this. I am sorry. This is not 1942. Some of your grandparents weren't even born in 1942. Okay? Like think about that. I know grandparents. There are grandparents right now who weren't even born in 1942. Right now, there are some great grandparents who might be born in 1942, and then they're 80 years old, and then I guess, okay, let's see, 30 years, yeah, and then, okay, and maybe they have a great grandkid on the way or something, sure, they might be great grandparents at this point. It's been 82 years since anything like this has happened. At least in the National Hockey League. I don't know about if we have anything similar to this in college or any of the college sports. I don't know. Or maybe it could be let's see here. I'm just looking at the camera right now. I don't have any stats pulled up. I get nothing right now. But 1942 was the last time that happened, and the Toronto Maple Leafs of all teams were the ones to do it. And they were playing with flat sticks. They were taking trains to the game. They weren't even wearing helmets. The concept of wearing a helmet on ice was just baffling to them. And you were lucky enough to find a bicycle helmet at that point. It's unbelievable. This team deserves. I don't know. This is coming from a Panthers fan. I've adopted this team. They're my adoptive sons because I grew up a Washington Capitals fan. And right now, this team just looked like crap at this point. This team doesn't have it. I mean, I really think that there has been, there was a situation in the NBA where I think the Heat tried to come back last year, and they almost did against Boston, and there was a Game 7 situation, but that might be the closest thing that we have in recent history that actually happened. But Connor McDavid deserves the Conn Smythe more than anyone right now. 34 assists. He's got more assists in a playoff run than Wayne Gretzky, and he's getting the Conn Smythe. He might have still gotten the Conn Smythe had Bob played perfectly, but he didn't. I don't know if Igor Shesterkin would have been a better goaltender tonight, or Patrick Swayman. But Paul Maurice right now is going off. He's probably losing his voice at this point. He's probably a little hoarse right now as I'm talking to you. Yeah. If the Panthers lose, there were some things I was going to put out on the YouTube channel. Regardless of what was going to happen, I was always going to read, you have a final reading for the Arizona Coyotes, and because the people of Phoenix and Tucson and Scottsdale, you know, don't have a team anymore, and they're up now with the Utah Hockey Club, and I never understood why you know, and Brody Brazil just mentioned to me, commented on one of my on my comments, and I asked why the Coyotes and the Suns were not playing in there, and there was some sightline issues, and the owner, and there's two different owners, and they would be, and it doesn't really make sense when you have two separate owners to be in the same building, and the Suns arena was not designed for hockey. It was designed for basketball. It's a basketball state. And Utah, it's a cold environment. It's a skiing resort state. Hockey can be on the table. It's a cold environment. I think it's going to be good for the NHL to get their feet in Utah. And I'm glad that, and Morello's on the clock too at this point, but yeah, they're on the clock. As well, potentially they got 5 years to figure this out, or there may be no more hockey NHL in Arizona for, you know, until they might lose out on expansion. Portland could get it, could get a team. Cleveland is probably not going to get a team. Kansas City, maybe they bring the scouts back. I don't know. Quebec is going to be on the table. That's definitely going to be on the table. And even Atlanta is going to be on the table. Houston's going to be on the table. You know, they might want to put another team in Ontario, but I'm even skeptical of that. It's Leafs country there. Um, Nashville's got one right now. I don't know if they want to. Memphis really doesn't make any sense at this point, but to do. Someone suggested Mexico City. They might want to get their feet wet in Milwaukee. They can move in with the Admirals at that point. And they might want to do so. I don't know much about that arena, but they can certainly have a home there if they want to, and they don't have to worry about building anything in Milwaukee at this point. Another thing I'm going to be working on is, if the Panthers lose, I mean, I've got to make a Foghorn Leghorn meme of him rambling on and roasting the Panthers because, what else at this point? They don't. I have been stressed. I thought, like, the first period I thought wasn't that bad. Maybe they'll break through. The only one breaking through was Darnell Nurse and Skinner and Hyman and McLeod and the former New Jersey Devil that was Adam Henrique. They all broke through. And the Edmonton fans were waving their towels, like it's 2011, and no one tonight in Alberta is going to be sleeping. I'm really trying to keep myself together here. I was not, this is an emergency episode, essentially. I mean, geez, I don't know what Shannon, the hockey guy, is doing right now, but or what Panthers fans YouTube channels right there are out there, but they I don't want to. I think if they lose Game 7, it's going to be, you know like I made fun of the Bruins losing to the Panthers. and they were 1 minute away from going on and facing the Maple Leafs, and I roasted them. You know, Bruins fans, you have your disappointment does not compare to this. I don't think you wish this on Panthers fans. I know you don't. No one wishes this on Panthers on any franchise. I would not wish this on anyone. Not any NFL fan, not any NBA fan, not an MLB fan, and certainly not NHL fans. None of the big four sports. Not even I don't even know what the equivalent would be in the MLS to this, or if there even is an equivalent to that. But soccer's going to be taken over at this, and the Panthers have one more chance to do this and just be the winners and potentially hold off. The ratings are going to be off the charts. It's good to see a Canadian team in the finals again, but not beating up on my team. When they were down 3-0. I knew McDavid and Draisaitl were not going to roll over like dogs, unlike the Panthers. But even still, this shouldn't have been happening. I know they're the two best players in the world, but even still, you're up 3-0. You had McDavid in the box for a power play during one of your power play opportunities, and you capitalized on nothing of it. You don't deserve. I'll say it again. The Panthers do not deserve to win the Stanley Cup. It's my honest opinion on this. I don't care. I am in Florida right now, and I am 90 minutes away from sunrise, and I do not believe they deserve it. I'm sorry. They really don't. They've blown this more times than a clown blowing balloons. Okay? Because that's the joke. They're a bunch of clowns blowing balloons, because just like they're blowing these games, and that 8-1 game in Game 4 was so disappointing. That is a shame on Sir. It's a shame on every. And their defense was not locked down. PK Subban commented on this. They were not locked down. They were inching up. They were deep in the ozone when they shouldn't have been, and they should have been playing back, and they should have been out of the zone and ready to go, just in case the Oilers got on a rush, which they did, and they scored. And Hyman has proven himself. He has stepped up more than those new kids on the block. Okay. I want to like, are the Panthers coffee at this point? Because they're being roasted at this point. Do they need to? Maybe they need to. I don't know what they want to say at this point, but I mean, I would love to see the video of Paul Maurice, flipping tables at this point and just being he has got to be so irate. If you've seen the movie Angels in the Outfield, where the manager George Knox starts flipping over tables and then just cannot contain his frustration at that point. Yeah, that's basically Paul Maurice at this point. I would not be surprised at this point, but it's it's like one more loss that could have been a win. Do you call yourselves professionals? I've never seen a worse group, 25 players. I've never ever seen a worse group of 25 players. You don't think as a team. You don't play as a team. You don't even lose as a team right now. But they did so well in games 1 to 3. And then this happens. And then they essentially become the Charlotte Checkers of the NHL. Sorry. You don't deserve to win this cup. This is coming from a Panthers fan. You really do not deserve to win this cup. If anyone wants to disagree with me, you write this down in the comments. You tell me why the Panthers deserve to win because they have not stepped up. Okay, they needed to step up on this game. It felt like this was going to be their last chance. Yes, they're home in Sunrise, but doesn't matter at this point. Does not matter if this was Dallas right now. Dallas has put up a better fight than the Panthers in their series. I'm going off right now. It is 11:38 right now. I don't care how long this segment goes. This is going, people. So this is going right now. We're you know you know we're roasting the Panthers with this one. Okay, I mean, like we're really we're not roasting them. Like I mean, they roasted themselves. I wanted to come on here and just say the Panthers won the Stanley Cup, and I'm excited and I'm dancing up and down. And Connor McDavid has still won the Conn Smythe, but who cares? The Panthers won. Obviously that didn't happen. Obviously it didn't happen. Would I have rather wanted the Rangers in the Stanley Cup Finals than the Panthers? Actually, yes. I told you this. I wanted the Rangers. I even had them winning that series. And it seems like, Faith just picked the wrong team to be in the finals. And that team is the Florida Panthers. And even if the Oilers, beat the Rangers in 5 or 6 games, it's like, at least they fought valiantly. It seems like because Igor Shesterkin just seems like he was the better goaltender of that series, but the best goaltender doesn't necessarily always get to the finals. And the Rangers can only do so much. Panera Bread can only bake so much bread, If the Panthers win on Monday, I'll take back everything I said about this segment. I'll take it all back. I promise you. But the Panthers have to win. It's that simple. Okay. All right. If you want to support, that'll do it for this episode. If you want to support me, please do. Check out the Substack. Please subscribe by email. Like this podcast, rate this podcast, share it with all your friends. Do yourself a favor. Share it with your friends. Write a little review. Let me know what you think. 5 stars if you think it's worth it. Check out the other links in the show notes below. And with that being said, take care.